Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. My job is simple, to make sure those dealers get their hands deep into their pockets.
You'd like a lot more than that, would you?
I would, yeah.
I don't think that's going to be enough.
I'll put another £50 down.
I'm not going to do it for less.
I'll only persuade them to go to auction if I think our seller can get more money there.
60, £60 bid, 17.
We don't care.
No.
Because we believe it's worth more, don't we?
So do I.
Yeah.
2 commissions and a phone, straight in at 100.
Thank goodness for that.
Today the show comes from Ludlow in Shropshire and the locals are pouring in from all over the county. First up we've got Maureen and grandson Michael who've got some plant pots to show Helen Gardner.
She always seems rather kind and generous in what she buys.
Sometimes it all depends.
Love the goats, hate the feet.
Oh dear, will everything in the garden be rosy?
Now, whose vases are these?
They're mine.
They're yours.
Yes.
And how long have you owned them, Maureen?
Must have owned them over 20 years.
20 years?
Can't quite remember.
Did you buy them or were you given them?
We bought them from an auction.
Well, they're very pretty, aren't they?
They are.
Do you like them?
I do like them.
You do
yes,
like them?
I do.
Michael, do you like these vases?
Yeah, they're quite nice. I prefer the goat one though.
You prefer the goats?
Yeah.
You prefer goats to sheep?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just don't like sheep. They stare too much.
Well, they're very well decorated vases, little jardinières.
Yes.
They're porcelain
Yes.
rather than pottery. They're probably early 20th century. I do think they're German. I've had a look and there's no mark underneath other than some numbers.
Yes, I saw the numbers.
So this number would tell you probably something, whether it was the factory or the pattern number. I'm not so keen on the feet, I must say. I think the feet are a little bit over-decorated, and if these had plainer bases, it'd be easier to sell. But I do think the decoration on the vases are superb.
Yeah.
So why are you selling them, Maureen?
We're selling them because Michael would like yet another guitar to his collection.
You've got a collection of guitars.
Yeah, 5 so far.
So these are going to turn into a guitar.
Hopefully.
How nice that your nan's going to give you them.
Yeah.
I wish I had a nan like that.
Well, yes.
Well, I'll make you an offer. Whether it's going to be enough or not, I don't know. How about 50? How about £100 for your vases?
I think they're worth more than that. Yeah.
This is a consultation, is it?
It is, yes. We'd like more than that, wouldn't we?
You'd like a bit more than that?
Yes, we would, yeah.
Here's David. He's going to give you a bit of advice here.
Can you imagine how they would look in a window in Cromarty, up there in the Highlands with those wonderful scenes, you know, of sheep and goats? Marvellous. 100 to 150 is the estimation. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some more money on the table. I think they're cheap, even at the 150.
Thank you, David.
Well, you've heard what David said.
Yes.
I think they are a very nice pair of vases. I'm going to put down another 20. I'm going to put down £140. In fact, I'm going to put down, to make it more difficult for you, I'm going to put down £145. Now that's going to be my last offer on these. But here's David. He's going to try and change my mind.
She's a canny lass, isn't she? She didn't put down the 150. £5 is nothing to a wealthy lady like you.
I wish.
They are fabulous. I think at £150 they're a very good buy. So I'm going to say another £5, sell them to Helen. They'll look fantastic in her shop and I'm sure she'll sell them.
Well,
Right.
they're nice. Well, you've heard David's advice. He says I'm being mean, not putting down the other £5. There is the £150. Michael, what do you think of that deal?
I think that's a pretty good price.
Maureen, you're going to go for it? You're going to take my money?
Yep.
Well done, Michael. It's a deal.
Right.
Thank
Yep,
you so
pleasure
much.
doing business with you.
You look after your nan.
Will do.
Maureen, lovely to see you, and
Thank
thank
you,
you for
Helen.
bringing in such a nice thing.
Oh, 150, you can't argue with that, can you? More towards a new guitar.
Fine pair of jardinières. I don't know what I'll do with them.
You could always sell them and make your money back, Helen. Let's cross the den to see what Maureen is dangling in front of Corrie Jeffrey.
I've brought in a pair of tortoiseshell earrings, and I would like to go home with about £45.
Seems reasonable, Maureen, but will Corrie want to own them?
These are your pretty little earrings?
Yes, they are.
And have they always been yours?
I bought them second-hand from a small shop.
Did you pay a lot of money for them?
No.
Ooh, a bargain hunter.
Sometimes.
Very good. Well, do you know anything about them? You know what they are?
I know they're tortoiseshell, and I think they are gold inlaid.
Yeah. And this type of decoration is called piqué because you picked out the decoration,
Oh, right.
pierced it out,
Yes.
and then you laid the sheet of gold, and under pressure, the gold stuck.
Yes, yeah.
This type of work was current all the way through the 19th century.
Right.
These I would date from the second half, 1860, 1890.
Yes. Oh, right.
And they're very pretty. Dainty little earrings. They were manufactured throughout Europe. Quite a few of them come from France.
Yes.
And it also came into fashion again in the second half of the 19th century when dark jewellery was more acceptable.
Right.
They've had different tops, more modern tops. They should have had like a shepherd's
It's
crook.
I think I probably had them changed because I used to find that the shepherd's crook style always sort of came forward and fell out. So.
And they're very easy to lose, they
Yes.
fall out. And they're in very nice condition. So you've worn them,
I've worn them a few times, but not a lot.
and that's why you brought them along today.
Yes.
And do you know how much you want for them?
I've got a good idea,
You've got a good idea. Have you got an idea what you want to spend the money on?
Holidays.
Holidays, plural. Right, well, let's put some money on the table.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put 20, 40, 60, 80.
Right.
How do you feel about 80?
Yes, that's a nice sum.
It's a nice sum, good. But is it an acceptable sum?
Any chance for a little bit more?
They need work and they're not that big.
No, that's true.
So I'm going to put another 10 down. So I'm going to put £90 on the table. And that is more or less where I am.
Okay, that's fine. I'll accept that.
So we have a deal.
We do.
Shaking hands, money's on the table. Now, do you mind me asking how much did you pay for them?
I think it was about £35.
Well done. That was a nice profit.
Thank you very much.
You've more than doubled your money. Do you want a job as a dealer? On David Hakeney's table, Camilla is serving up a corking item.
Well, you've brought a claret jug along here today.
Yeah.
How long have you had this?
All I know about it really is that it was inherited. My mother-in-law-to-be has inherited it
Uh-huh. And why are you selling it today?
to go towards my wedding.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I've had a quick look at this and I see the hallmarks William Hutton. I think it's 1905, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Silver top.
Yeah.
Very plain. Usually they're all engraved, these. They're the nicer ones. But it has a little bit of cutting at the bottom
Yeah.
there. Cut glass. So do you want a lot of money for this? You do. Shall I get the money out and see if I can tempt you on this one?
Yes.
Okay. £50 any good, Camilla? Was a definite? £100. No.
No.
I thought that about what it was worth, about £100 these days. 120, Camilla. Seeing you're getting married and go towards the wedding. No? Would you rather go to auction?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes. I'm under strict orders.
Right. What did you think it was worth?
But I've been told it's about 170.
Well, I think it would have been had it been more fancy on the glass part of this claret jug. The top of it's in nice order. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just very plain.
Yeah.
Can't I tempt you with another tenner? 130? No.
No.
I do like it. I think it looked quite nice when we've got some red wine in it.
Yeah, very nice.
Let me take that back and let me see if I can try and buy it off you because I quite like it now. So £140 would be my offer for this Claret jug, Camilla. So what do you think?
No. I'd like to go to auction, please.
Good luck at the auction.
Thank you very much.
On reflection, it grew on me a little bit, even though it was so plain, but maybe I should offer a few more bob.
Too late now. Camilla is over in the sale room with the Duke and auctioneer David Brettle.
Now, Camilla, on the day you sat down with David Halkney, he offered you 140 quid.
Yeah, it was a good offer, but the mother-in-law wanted more.
Ooh, I'm not going to say anything, but the mother-in-law wanted more. So here you are, at her instruction. What is her name?
Yvonne.
The reserve is £100. Now, if we get less than that, what's the mother-in-law going to say then?
I don't know.
Don't fall out with her.
No.
Keep sweet with her. She's important. Coming up now, let's see what happens.
Here's a silver mounted glass Claret jug, Birmingham 1905. 2 commissions and a phone.
2 commission and a phone bid. That's good.
110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160.
Thank goodness for that, Yvonne. I thought we were in trouble.
180, 190, sat down. £190 here.
190.
200 on the phone. 220, anybody else? 240 on the next. 260 in the room. 260.
This is all going towards the wedding.
280. It's a lovely, lovely thing. At £280, you're out shaking your head, and I'm selling it on the net. At £280 then, sold away at 280.
OK, £280. I have to say, I was a little bit sceptical. I thought, ooh, it might be a little bit too much. About 230 quid after the commission is taken off.
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah.
Well, we have to say this, that your mother-in-law to be, Yvonne, was right all along, Yvonne,
She
weren't
was.
you?
What on earth has Eliane brought into the dealer's den?
It looks like a space-age pillar box or a very small Dalek.
Find out what it is after the break.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
The den is brimming with treasures, and Dilys has brought in some things she hopes will make David Ford light up.
I don't think they're worth a lot, so I should be very pleased whatever I get for them.
If only the dealers were as easy to please.
Little matchboxes, Vesta cases.
Yes. They belonged actually to my stepfather, and they were just at home when my mother died. We were clearing the house out, and all these little boxes were there, so...
You sort of found them in a drawer, did you?
In a box, yes.
OK, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a little bit unusual, aren't you? You've got a little one here that's sort of like a domino. This one is silver-plated, but it's set with little turquoises, which is quite nice. It's got some initials on it.
Yes.
Are they anything family initials?
No.
And this one, which has got some advertising material on it, and horse. They're a little bit unusual. People collect these Vesta cases. They like them in silver and to be Victorian, whereas these are sort of 20th century, I would have said. But they're interesting and unusual. So what's made you decide to sell them now?
It's time to have a general clear out at home, and some of these things have all got to go.
All right. I'll try and buy them from you, shall I? Shall I get some money out? What shall I offer you for your Vesta cases? 20, 40, 60 pounds, 20 pounds each. How does that sound to you? It's quite good, isn't it?
It is quite good, yes, yes. A little bit more, do you think, or not?
I think 60 pounds.
60 pounds. Another 5?
Oh, Dilys, I'm not going to fight with you over a fiver, am I? OK. 65 pounds, Dilys.
Could you make it a little bit more?
Well, perhaps I'm being just a little bit mean. It's in my nature, you know. It's because I like to make a profit.
Exactly.
But how much profit do you think I should make? If I gave you 70 pounds, do you think I could get a profit?
Oh, I should think so. if you tell me they're a little bit unusual.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Dennis. I'll give you £75. I think that's fair.
Yes, I think it is as well.
So do you.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. I was a bit cheeky and asked and got, and I'm very pleased with the result.
Now, here's the Duke with some top brass to show us.
I've got a fascinating gentleman here, Vin Coldcut. Here you've got a man who really loves brass and copper. How many pieces have you got in your personal collection?
About 5,000.
5,000. The smile on Vin's face is telling you everything about this collection. Who are some of the great names in copper and brass?
Townsend,
yes,
it's a good one. Hart, Suitors.
I know Suitors.
And that's Burmese Gong by Suckling. Tonks, the candlesticks.
Yes.
And there you've got John Marston with that hot water can, the chap who went on to make Sunbeam motorcycles.
You know what I like about it, Vin? It brings back memories to me as a kid. I used to run home from school at 3:30 and Granny, my Granny, had about 200 pieces of brass and copper. And that's what I used to have to do till about 9 o'clock once a week, polishing all this stuff. Now, when I started in the business, I don't know, 30 years ago, copper and brass were very much in the vogue and were fetching a very good price in the auction. It just seems to have totally collapsed. Why do you think that is?
Several reasons. People don't like polishing it,
No.
but also they do not have mantelpieces or windowsills anymore to put knickknacks on. They don't want the clutter, and they don't really appreciate the superb workmanship that went into these things.
Young people watching this programme today, what's your advice? Is it a very good time to start collecting now it's at its lowest price?
Oh yes, any time's a good time to start collecting, and learn, of course, as you would advise everybody, about what to look for and to buy what you want, what you like.
If you want to get some real value for money, start looking at brass and copper. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to have a glance at your website.
It's www.oldcopper.org.
If you fancy starting a collection, now is the time. Prices will never be lower. But remember, don't expect it to go up anytime soon.
Across the den, Eliana's brought in a mysterious object for Corrie. Does she know what it is?
I don't know whether it's for a child or an adult. It's really neat, and I'm just going to wing it.
For you at home, it's a dressing table.
It's great. It looks like a space-age pillar box or a very small Dalek. So let's start taking it apart.
It's a Doctor Who.
It's a Doctor Who item. You are so right. So this rolls out.
Yeah.
And you've got a little chair, and then lift and flick. So you've got a mirror.
That's right.
And then under the mirror, you've got this great little set of compartments for your makeup.
That's right.
Or your bits and pieces, whatever. So how on earth did you get it?
I've had it about 50 or 60 years. And my husband was a builder, so he worked a lot for this particular people. And I knew the family as well. And I'd bought an electric sewing machine, and I was telling the lady, I haven't got a table to put it on. Oh, she says, I've just got the thing for you, and she gave it to me.
And did your electric sewing machine fit on this?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. And it was heavy, and it takes the strength.
Trying to date it, we're looking at the late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, early 50s.
Early 50s?
Yes, I would say.
And it's plastic?
Yes.
So,
as far as I know, it's plastic.
It must be quite an early piece of plastic furniture.
Yes, I think it is. Very.
So you brought it along today. What made you decide to sell it?
My age and wanting to move a few things out, you know.
You're not using the electric sewing machine as much?
No, I'm not using it at all.
Well, it's a sweet little thing. So I'm going to put some money down and let's see how we get on.
Yeah.
So let's put down 20, 40, 60. 80.
No.
100.
No.
120.
No, a bit more than that.
140. Right, I'm putting 160 on the table.
Yes. I'd like a bit more than that.
Yes, David. Good.
Yeah.
Well, Lilian, it's a tricky one, this, because the marketplace is there. It's just finding where the level of this particular item is. 120, 150, 150, 180 is the indication from the auctioneer and the independent valuers. You know, if you go to the auction, unless it's recognised by a collector, it might not do as well as that. And if you got 180 in the auction, you'd have to take 50% off. That would be nearly £30, and you'd get 150. I'm going to say collectible and desirable if you get it to the eyes of the right people, but I'm not so sure I would push you to the auction.
Thank you, David. Would you go a bit higher?
160 is my bid. You could do better at auction. I'm not sure if my mark would be on the 160.
If you're not willing to go any farther, I would, I think, put it in the auction and see what happens. Have a bit
Well,
of fun
I
with
wish
it.
you the best of luck at auction.
Thank you,
Off to
Carrie.
auction you go.
No time to waste. Let's see how Eliane's dresser gets on in the sale room.
It is coming up now. You turned down the £160. You decided to gamble. I would have thought that wasn't a bad offer.
I thought it was poor.
You thought it was poor?
Yeah. I thought it was worth more than that.
Okay, well, I think it's worth a gamble. The question is, how is it going to go in a country sale room?
Yes.
I really don't know. The reserve is modest. It's only £120, which means you could lose out.
That's right.
If it goes for the estimate. Let's see what happens.
The 60s cylindrical dressing table. There we are with the lift-up mirror and the pull-out seat. Nice thing. There we are, £100 for that. 100. 50 will do, £50 a metre, £50 slow start.
Starting off very slow.
Oh, yeah.
Moving. 60, £60 bid, 70. £70 bid, £70 bid, 80.
This is really a lot. They should perhaps go to a specialist London sale, you know, doing retro furniture.
Right. That's right.
At £90, quickly random looking hard, £90, nobody left on the net. At £90 then, quickly round at 90. Well, I'm sorry, we'll have to withdraw that, can't quite go.
It didn't sell, and we don't care.
No.
Because we believe it's worth more, don't we?
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't care.
No.
It's going home. Will you be putting your sewing machine on it or not?
I could do with selling my sewing machine, I can tell you. I've used it for years.
So for the next set, we've got a sewing machine.
Coming in.
And we've got a dressing table. OK, on the day, it didn't make its money. The real deal has to go to Corrie Jeffries. Corrie.
Yes.
Oh, you're a clever girl.
Wow.
You knew all along what it was worth.
Never mind, Eliane, your dresser lives to fight another day. Still to come, David Ford splashes the cash.
500.
Will it be enough to see him rolling in gold? And the Duke pumps out some tunes.
I'm taking it away.
But who will put down the high notes? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal, coming to you today from Ludlow in Shropshire. A lover's token has arrived at Helen Gardner's table. Will she be smitten?
I've never seen anything quite like it. Sailors' Valentines come in many guises, and this is one.
But have you fallen in love enough to buy it?
Now, this is a fascinating object. This, unlikely as it may seem, is a sailor's Valentine, basically. So what can you tell me about this ship and this brooch?
Well, I date this brooch to 1929, which was the date that HMS Oswald, which was the submarine that my grandfather served aboard, was commissioned. And I'm guessing that he bought it as a gift for my grandmother with the extra pay he would have earned as a submariner.
Would he have been married at the time? Would this have been to his sweetheart or his wife?
I'm not quite sure about
quite
that,
sure.
but they did get married at that period.
Around that
so,
time.
yeah.
So this would have been for his sweetheart.
Probably, yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah.
How fantastic.
It is, it's a lovely thing.
Did you know your grandfather?
Yes, I did, yes. He died when I was about 11 years old, so I didn't get to know him that well, but I do remember him as he was quite a character.
Now, this submarine was commissioned in 1929, so it's between the wars.
Yes.
So this is a class of submarine that this could fire on the surface, is that right?
That's
I believe?
right, yeah. This is an Odin class
So it's a different class of submarine.
That was his first submarine. That was the one that he after he joined the submarine service, that was the first one that he served on.
This was the Royal Navy's answer of the build-up of arms.
That's right.
Before the Second World War. So all that history is fascinating.
Yes.
But this little brooch is what we're focusing on. It happens to be an 18-carat gold. It happens to be of a submarine.
The chap who made that brooch, Lanyon, he evidently carved himself quite a nice little niche next to the Navy base in Portsmouth, which would have been quite big then.
Speciality naval jewellery.
That's correct.
Fascinating piece of history, and that's what it is, piece of history. I do like it, and I'd like to try and buy it, but I have no idea how much to offer. So I'll make a start. We'll say 100, 150 pounds, 200 pounds, 250 pounds. How's that sound to you?
Oh, that's a lot less than I would expect to get for
You'd
that.
like a lot more than that, would you?
I would, yeah.
So there's 250, there's 300 pounds, 350, there's 400 pounds. I don't know what it's worth, but David's going to give you some advice. Here he comes.
Well, the independent valuers and the auctioneers, they are saying £400 to £600. I get the impression the lower part of the estimate at £400 is not a bad offer, but it probably is worth a little bit more. You would hope with the internet there would be collectors in the auction room. It's a gamble to do that, but it may be worth doing that. It's worth a bit more than £400, Hal. I'm going to leave you and see if you can tempt this gentleman.
Well, I think that I'm going to tempt you a little bit further. I'm going to put another £50 on the table. That's going to be my final offer. I think for me it's a very good offer, but the choice is going to be yours now.
I think I would have to get lucky on the day at the auction house. So I think I'll accept your offer.
Thank you so much. It's been a great privilege. It is a piece of history I'm buying, and it's significant. And if I can place it correctly, maybe I'll make a profit.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we, Helen? Across the den, Chris hopes David Halkney will sign up to her fascinating showbiz collection.
This is a really good collection of autographs, photographs, singers, actors. Really, it's a bit of a gambling lot for me, this.
Are you feeling lucky, David?
Well, you've brought some very interesting photographs and autographs here. Is it something you've collected?
No, they used to belong to a member of the family who worked at the Hippodrome in Birmingham.
Oh, really?
And they were
that's how
passed
they...
down to me.
I mean, there's a lot more than this, isn't there?
There is an awful lot.
How many altogether?
104.
104. Well, I've had a quick look through and there's some fantastic actors, film stars, singers.
Yes.
There's one here that comes from where I live, David Whitfield.
Yes.
Made his fame by a very great record, Caramia. Yes, and then we've got Terry Thomas, film star, actor. Winifred Atwell on the piano.
Yes.
Johnny Ray here. There's a very famous one here.
George Formby.
George Formby, everybody knows George Formby.
Mm.
And we go on and on, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Are they all signed?
No, there's about 10 of them that
I think most of them that I glanced through were.
Yes, most of them are signed.
So, Christine, tell me why you're selling this lovely collection.
I've had them for over 20 years, as I said, and they're just in the wardrobe
Not getting
upstairs,
looked
so I thought I'd get rid of them now.
at. And none of the family want them?
No, no.
Well, I better try my best here and
Yes,
just have a
please.
little gamble with you.
Yes, please.
Well, £50 isn't going to buy them, is it?
No.
I didn't think it would. 100, £150.
No. More than that, please.
£200.
No.
about 220?
No, thank you.
That's a definite
Like
no.
a bit more than that, please.
240, Chris.
No, thank you.
Could have changed this one then and put another one of the red ones here. 250. Are we getting warm here?
A little bit. I'd like a bit more, please.
Well, there's some advice on its way.
How much money? 250?
Yes.
Well, I think that should buy the Laurel and Hardy one.
Thank you.
I look around here and I see these faces. You've got a wonderful collection. We've got a couple of estimations. They are as low as 300 and they are as high as 600. There's some good ones here, mate.
There is indeed. I know most of them.
I'm sneaking in the rain. Johnny Ray, you remember that? You're the same age as me.
I do remember it.
We were jiving to that at the plaza.
Yes.
We need to be getting up towards the higher end.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to be enough.
Right.
I'm sinking in the rain. Remember, it's definitely one here.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, Chris, I know I'm not in the running here, I don't think, am I? But I'll just say to you as a gamble, £400, but I don't think you're going to take my money.
No.
So is it auction they're
Yes,
going?
please.
I think that's a good idea.
Thank you very much.
I do wish you good luck with them.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And
Thank
you, thank you for bringing them in.
And I think I can get top estimate 600 at auction.
Chris sounds confident, but will she be right?
What I think is important about this collection is the provenance. The provenance is really good. You had an uncle that worked at the Birmingham Hippodrome.
That's right.
He was a kind of a stage manager.
Yes, he was.
So when all the stars came, he obviously had access to them and was able to get the signatures personally himself. Now that is a very nice provenance. We know how these signatures have been acquired. It's coming up now. I think there are some wonderful autographs here. Your reserve is set a little bit low. It's a bit of a gamble at 350 quid.
Yes.
Let's see, we need to get more than that.
Lot number 54 is a collection of approximately 104 signed photographs, stars of stage and screen from the 1930s to 1950s. There we are, from the infinite, 500, 400, 300, don't kick me off. 300 bid at 320, 340, 360, 380. 380 is bid there.
380.
In the room, and nobody on the net. 380.
Nobody on the internet.
380 will be sold.
One buyer in here.
And £380, these are for nothing, you know that.
Someone's got a bargain here.
Second time. But 380 what I'm selling in fairness, at 380 right in front.
£380 under the gavel. Take away the commission, and that leaves you with £311.
That's fine.
There was really one strong bidder here, and nobody else to bid against them. So, disappointed?
I'm happy.
Happy?
No, I'm
Okay.
happy.
Well, that's very nice of you, Christy. That's the way it goes. You gamble. Sometimes it works out in your favour, sometimes not. But she is happy. On the day, the real deal, it was Dandy Dave.
Yes.
400 quid. You were on the money, Dave.
After the break, David Ford tries it on.
It's a lot of money.
But Elizabeth is having none of it.
Yes, it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of gold.
It is. It is.
It's the end of the day and the Ludlow residents have unearthed some fascinating objects. Next, a sovereign bracelet David Ford hopes will make him a mint.
What would I give for it? I don't know. I'd like to buy it for about 1,500.
Not if Elizabeth has her way.
I would like to go away with £2,000 for it, and not a penny less.
Better watch out, David.
Elizabeth, you bought in all the gold today.
Yes, I have, haven't I?
All these sovereigns.
Perhaps I'm being a bit foolish.
Well, who knows?
We'll see.
So, tell me about it. How did you come to own all these lovely sovereigns?
Well, my husband used to work for Ford Motor Company, and years ago he ran the Ford School, and they did bartering with students that came in from foreign countries.
Oh.
And he gathered these sovereigns, and he had the bracelet made for me many, many years ago.
And you've worn it?
Yes.
And enjoyed wearing it,
Yes.
no doubt. So what's made your decision now to sell?
Well, it's sitting gathering dust,
And my daughter said to me, Mum, why don't you get rid of that gold? You'll never wear it, because I'm frightened to wear it.
Yes, yes.
And she said, book yourself a cruise and go on a cruise.
Well, absolutely, because it's quite valuable. They're nice sovereigns. Some of them are Victorian, and they're in these quite nice mounts, so the coins haven't actually been defaced. So let's cut to the chase and try and do business,
See
shall
what
we
happens
do,
with it.
Elizabeth? Quite a lot of money here. Let's see where we go, shall we? 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700, 750, 800, 850, 900, 950, £1,000. You're getting excited?
Oh, I want a bit more than that.
I'm sure you do. 1,050, 1,100, 1,150, 1,200, 1,250, 1,300, 1,350, 1,400, 1,450, £1,500.
No, not enough.
Quite good though, isn't it?
Well, we're getting there.
It's a lot of money.
Yes, it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of gold.
It is. It is. £1,550, Elizabeth.
No, more yet.
More yet, you think? £1,600, Elizabeth. I think we might need, well, we're going to get some input from David.
Nowadays,
Need a
it's
little more.
quite close when it comes to selling this gold, either in the auction or here with our dealers. Remember, if we go to the auction, there is a deduction of 15%. The spot value of the precious metal at the moment is £1,841. Estimations are around the 1,600 to 1,700. It really wants to be about 1,700. That's still going to leave £140. I think 16 is a bit on the low side. I'm going to walk out of the way, leave you with David, and see what more could be added.
I'll put another £50 down, so £1,650.
No, I did want 1,700, I'll be honest.
17. If the market just dips a little bit, by the time I can get to do something with this,
right,
I could end up making a small loss, and I don't want to do that. Not when I've laid out £1,650.
Well, make it 1,700 and we do a deal, but I'm not going to do it for less.
Very tight margin, this, you know. But I don't want to see it slip away.
Well, I don't have to sell it.
No, I'm
But
sure
I-
you don't. £1,700.
Lovely.
Deal done.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our sellers have walked away with over £3,000 today. But how have our dealers done? David Halkney didn't manage to buy anything at all.
So what do you think?
No. I'd like to go to auction, please.
I don't think you're going to take my money.
No.
And Helen couldn't sell anything.
Can you imagine how they would look in a window in Cromarty?
The jardinières are still looking very pretty and unsold in her shop window. As for the lover's valentine, she can't seem to part with that either. At least Corrie did a bit better with the tortoiseshell earrings. She's moved them on to a jeweller for £130.
Lovely to meet you.
There's no doubt about today's star dealer.
Oh, Dilys, I'm not going to fight with you over a fiver, am I?
And it was just as well he didn't, because he doubled his money on the Vestas. And the outlay for Elizabeth's gold paid off in the end.
£1,700.
Lovely.
Deal done.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
He turned his investment into an even tastier sum.
It's because I like to make a profit.
We've had an exciting day here in Ludlow. Bags of action, lots of atmosphere, lots of buying and selling. We always like to see that on the programme. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.